CIET NCERT presents audiobook Our Wondrous World, textbook of environmental studies for grade 5.
Page number 1, Unit 1, Life Around Us. About the unit. This unit at the preparatory stage highlights the crucial role of nature as a home to animals, birds, and insects. Students in grade 3 and 4 have explored soil, air, and water. They also learn how life evolves in different landforms depending upon the availability of soil, air, water, and sunlight. The unit in grade 5 presents the importance of water in life and ecosystems. It also covers its various forms, movements, and role in shaping land and supporting habitats. The unit conveys water as a unique and limited essence of life, showing how it helps in sustaining the life on Earth. It also gives examples from the lives of people who stay close to nature. They enjoy clean treasures from nature and develop various materials available from nearby forest and surroundings. Their lifestyles and productions with locally available material reflect how life can be happy and creative in the lap of nature. At the bottom of the page, there is a picture of natural habitat where elephant, deer, monkeys, swan, all are enjoying their natural habitat. Page number 2. Note to the teacher. This unit includes 2 chapters. Chapter 1, Water, the Essence of Life, and Chapter 2, Journey of a River. Following are the key concepts covered in this chapter. Chapter 1, Water, the Essence of Life. Water, the Essence of Life, introduces students to its various forms and different sources, fresh water and salt water, of water. It also highlights the importance of water in different activities in the society. This chapter introduces the continuous movement of water in different forms through the water cycle. It also explores how water shapes the land and supports life in freshwater habitats and highlights the need to conserve water. Chapter 2, Journey of a River. This chapter follows the story of the river Godavari from its origin to its delta. Through maps, stories, and illustrations, it explores the tributaries of the Godavari and aquatic life in the river. It familiarizes students with the dams built on the river. Students learn how the river gets polluted. This chapter highlights the ways rivers support ecosystems, people, and culture. After reading this chapter, students will understand that water is a limited and shared resource which must be used wisely. At the bottom of the page, there is a picture of a tribal boy and a tribal girl running in a natural habitat with elephant and bird in the background, and also depicting the natural habitat with lush green trees and greenery. At the right hand corner of the page, there is a depiction of teacher with a globe in her hand and showing globe with one of her fingers. How to facilitate. Encourage students to think about water bodies near their homes or schools. Inspire them to explore where the water comes from and where it goes. The activity 6 in chapter 1 on mustard seed shows how rivers flow from higher to lower ground and follow the shape of the land. Use the map of India to explore which rivers flow into which seas and how landforms like mountains guide their direction. Talk about what happens to rainwater in their school or neighborhood. Use this to start a conversation on how cities and villages plan for water. Help students list different ways in which water plays an important role in our life. Connect this to ideas of sharing and saving water. Let them think about how water is stored in their homes, tanks, pots, etc., and how a dam works as a big water storing unit. Engage students in role plays to critically think about both the scarcity and excess of water. Encourage students to discuss with their parents and grandparents about festivals, stories, or memories connected to rivers. This will help them to see rivers not just as physical things but as part of their community and culture. Page number 3. At the left-hand top corner of the page, there is a QR code. This QR code will take you to the additional information about the chapter. At the right-hand corner of the page, there is a picture of animals, birds, swans, ducks enjoying in their natural habitat. Chapter 1. Water, the essence of life. It is raining. Afreen rushed to the window where Jyoti was already watching tiny raindrops slide down the glass. Where do you think all this water comes from? And where does it go? Asked Afreen. Come, let us follow the journey of water. But first, let us see how much water there is on earth. At the bottom of the page, there is a picture of a teacher showing her students the natural habitat of aquatic animals with swan, frog, birds in the background, and greenery of lush green trees. Page number 4. Although most of the Earth's surface is covered with water, the majority of it is salty, leaving less amount of fresh water. All living beings, people, animals, birds, and plants depend on fresh water to survive. It is essential for drinking, growing crops, and carrying out daily activities. Many plants and animals also live in fresh water. Without water, life would not be possible. Now imagine if all the water on the earth were in this glass, then the fresh water would only be as much as in a teaspoon. There is a picture of a glass filled with 200 ml of water and a spoon where there is 5 ml of water. At the left-hand corner of the page, there is a keynote. Johads in Rajasthan are traditional small earthen dams built to collect rainwater and recharge groundwater. Discuss. Do you think we can drink the water present in the oceans? Question number 2. What can ocean water be used for? At the bottom of the page, there is the keynote. Do you know? The salt pans of Gujarat are vast flatlands where seawater is dried to collect salt. It is one of the largest salt producing areas in India. There is a picture depicting how farmers and people collect salt. Page number 5. Activity 1. Here are the pictures of 8 sources of water where students have to identify the sources of water. Question is, where can we find fresh water? Identify the different freshwater sources from the given pictures here and write their names. At the right-hand corner, there is a keynote. Wuller Lake in Jammu and Kashmir is one of the largest freshwater lakes in Asia. It helps regulate river flows to prevent flood. Jyoti was curious. Is there water in the air too? And is snow a form of water? Water as different forms. We already know the different forms of water: liquid, as in rain, solid, as in ice, and vapor, as in steam. Let us understand more about this through a simple activity. Page number 6. Activity 2. There's a picture of 2 glasses with ice in one of the glass and water in another glass. Take a steel glass, put some ice cubes in it. Observe the small water droplets forming on the glass. Question A. Where do these water droplets come from? Question B. What happens to the ice cubes after they are left in the glass for some time? Question C. If we heat water, what will happen to it? There's a picture of a pan where water is boiling and a cup with hot water in it. In the above activity, what forms of water do you see? Observing changes. In this activity, there is a table formed with activity and I observe made into a table. Activity: ice melting, water boiling, water in sunlight for 3 days. Students have to write what I observe in the following activity. Page number 7. Through these experiments, we found out that water can change into ice and steam, and it can also return to its liquid form. Water cycle. Let us understand how such changes take place in nature. Activity 3. There is a picture depicting water cycle with water evaporating from the sea and through the tree, vapors going to the cloud, water droplets coming down. Point number 1. Take a transparent bag. Next point, use a marker to draw the sun, clouds, trees and arrows on it as depicted in the picture. Point 3. Fill 1/3 of it with colored water. Tip: you can use blue paint or food dye for this. Point 4. Seal the bag tightly to prevent any leaks. Point 5. Place it in the sunlight. Point 6. After a few hours, observe the changes inside the bag. There is a table depicting I observe, I wonder, it is because of. Complete the table. I observe, water heats up. I wonder, how does water heat up? It is because of. sunlight. I observe water droplets formed inside the cover. Students have to write, I wonder. It is because of. At the right-hand corner of the page, there is a keynote. The fishing cat found in India's wetlands has partially webbed paws, making it an excellent swimmer who dives for fish. Page number 8. At the left-hand corner of the page, there is a keynote. The Kebul Lamjaw National Park in Manipur is the only floating national park in the world. It is famous for its unique fundis, floating islands, and the endangered Sangai deer. As you have seen in the above activity, the sun's heat causes water to turn into water vapor. When the water vapor cools, it forms small droplets inside the bag. Eventually, these droplets fall back down. Similarly, in nature, heat causes water from different sources like oceans and rivers to become water vapor. Water vapor forms the clouds, which come down as rain, snow, and hail. This water goes back into rivers, lakes, and oceans. There is a depiction of a picture of water cycle, how water evaporates from the sea, goes to the clouds, and the water droplets fall down in the form of a rain. This constant circulation movement of water in nature is called the water cycle. Groundwater. Let us find out what happens to rainwater when it comes down. Page number 9. Activity 4. Point 1. Take a transparent glass. Point 2. Fill half of it with soil. Point 3. Slowly pour water into the soil using a spoon. Point 4. Observe what happens. There is a picture depicting a glass with soil and water in it, hand holding a spoon and pouring water into the glass. When it rains, some water is soaked up by the soil. This water sinks through the layers of soil and rocks. The water that gets stored deep underground is called groundwater. We dig wells, bore wells, tube wells, and hand pumps to draw this water from the ground for our use. At the right-hand corner of the page, there is a keynote. The world's tallest statue is the Statue of Unity in India, standing 182 meters tall. Activity 5. There are 3 pictures depicting the groundwater recharge. Tick the image that will help in groundwater recharge: concrete road, green lawn, or paved area. In cities with many cemented surfaces, rainwater cannot go into the ground easily, which stops groundwater from getting recharged. At the bottom of the page, there is a keynote. Do you know? Open, uncovered areas allow water to seep into the ground. Soak pits, ponds, human-made lakes, and planting more trees help rainwater return underwater. Page number 10. Surface water. Rivers, ponds, lakes, etc. are the natural sources of fresh water in addition to groundwater. Do you ever wonder how a river flows? A river often begins its journey from up in the mountains and flows down across the land. Let us understand this through an activity. Activity 6. Material required: an old newspaper and a cup of mustard seeds or any other small seeds. Procedure: Point 1. Take a sheet from a newspaper and crumble it to create folds. Point 2. Take another sheet and place it over the crumbled paper. Point 3. Press it down so that the slopes are gentle. Point 4. Now slowly pour the mustard seeds from the cup on the highest point of the slope. Point 5. Observe the movement of the seeds. There is a picture of newspaper and mustard seeds being poured from a hand depicting this activity. Question number 1. What did you observe about the mustard seeds? Answer in the given space. Question number 2. Are they moving in a straight line or do they spread out in different directions? Answer in the given space. Page number 11. Question continues. Question number 3. Are they collecting in some areas? Do they gather like water gathers in lakes, rivers, and so on? Answer in the given space. Water flows, stops, or curves according to the shape of the land formations in its path. The flow of water can also change the shape of land. Discuss. On the basis of activity 6 with mustard seeds, discuss how some rivers flow downwards the Arabian Sea while some flows towards the Bay of Bengal. At the bottom of the page there is a keynote. Do you know? The Luni River, originating in Aravalli Range in Rajasthan, is the only major Indian river that does not drain into a sea. Instead, it ends up in the marshy land of the Run of Kutch in Gujarat. There is a depiction of a picture of Run of Kutch in Gujarat. At the right-hand corner of the page, there is a keynote. Hiwari Bazar in Maharashtra is a successful example of a water-positive village. Local communities have contributed to its watershed management and rainwater harvesting. Page number 12. There's a picture depicting our lifeline rivers in India. There's a map showing rivers of India. This map of India shows some of the major rivers of our country. The picture depicts the landforms showing ice cap, glaciers, mountains, waterfall, river, valley, dune, lake, desert. Page number 13. Activity 7. Follow the flow. In the map you can see the rivers flowing in different directions. Some flow into the Bay of Bengal and some into the Arabian Sea. Observe and fill in the table. There is a table with 3 columns and 6 rows. The first column is dedicated to names of the rivers. Second column moves towards the Bay of Bengal. Third column moves towards the Arabian Sea. In the first column, students have to write the names of rivers and tick mark whether it moves towards the Bay of Bengal or moves towards the Arabian Sea. At the right-hand corner of the page, there is a keynote. India's first water museum, Jal Shakti Museum in New Delhi, celebrates India's water heritage and innovation, inspiring citizens to conserve water. At the bottom of the page, there is a keynote for the teacher. Note to the teacher. The teacher can guide the students to observe and trace the flow of the rivers towards the Bay of Bengal or the Arabian Sea on the map. In the background of the page is depiction of landforms showing mountains, forest, rivers. Page number 14. Life in water. Afreen noticed that the rain had filled up the pond near the school ground. She called out to Jyoti, "Come and look." They could see tiny fish swimming and small frogs sitting on a lotus leaf. It is wonderful to see the variety of plants and animals living in water. How are they different from those living on land? Complete the following table discussing with peers about the characteristics of animals on land and animals in water. At the bottom of the page, there is a picture depicting variety of plants and animals living in water, with snake floating under the water, fishes swimming, and frogs sitting on the leaf. We can see grasshopper and kingfisher. Page number 15. There is a table with two columns, animals on land and animals in water. Animals on land cannot breathe in water. Animals in water have fins to swim. Students have to fill the characteristics of animals on land and animals in water. There's a depiction of picture at the bottom of the page showing animals floating under the water and birds. Page number 16. Information card. Dragonfly flies fast and lays eggs near water, eats mosquitoes. Water scorpion, insect with pincers, lives underwater, breathes using a tail tube. Pond heron, a bird with long legs that stands still to catch fish. Freshwater turtle, a soft-shelled turtle that lives in ponds and rivers. Water snake, a harmless water snake that eats fish and frogs. Reeds, edge plants, grow along the edges of plants, tall and grass-like. Lotus and water lily, rooted floating. Flowers float on water, roots stay in the pond bed. Water hyacinth, free floating, a fast growing plant that floats and spreads on water. Page number 17. Activity 8. Visit a local water body like a pond, lake or an aquarium with your teacher or parents and observe life in it and around the water body. Based on your observation, complete the table. The table is divided into 4 columns. First column for name of the bird or animal. Second column, mouth or beaks. Third column, movement through legs, feet, fins. Column 4, rough diagram. The first 2 parts are done for the students. Fish has round mouth facing upwards. It has fins. Pond heron, long and pointed mouth with thin legs. At the bottom of the page, there is a note to the teacher. Ensure the students are accompanied by adults. Take all safety precautions and guide them not to touch or disturb any plants or animals during the visit. Page number 18. Question number 2. Draw the plants that you saw during the visit and label them with their local name. There is a table with 3 columns: types, names, local name. First column: plants floating above water. Name: lily. Types: plants underwater. Plants whose roots are in the waterbed but are seen above the water. Activity 9.1. Take a piece of paper and put a drop of water on it. Observe. Second point. Color the paper with a wax crayon. Now put a drop of water on it. Do you observe any change? There are 2 pictures depicting the activity. Write your observation in the space provided. Page 19. The waxy coating on leaves make them waterproof and keep too much water from getting inside the plant. This helps the plant stay healthy and not get damaged. Activity 10. Who eats whom? A river food chain game. Point 1. Distribute slips of paper to students. Each student writes what they choose to be. For example, small fish, big fish, frog, bird, human, crocodile, otter, etc. Ask the students to think about what they eat and who eats whom. Use a string to connect the students who depend on each other for food. Discuss what would happen if one animal disappears. For example, what if all the fish are gone? Types of plants in water. Through this activity, we discovered the rich variety of plants and animals that live in freshwater habitats. These living beings have special features like floating leaves, fins, or long roots that help them survive and grow in water. This reminds us how essential fresh water is for supporting life on Earth. In this chapter, we learn that water exists in different forms: ice, water, and vapor. We saw how water keeps moving through the water cycle, changing its form as it travels through the air, land, and sky. We also explored how aquatic plants and animals live in and around water and depend on water for their survival. Page number 20. Let us reflect. Question number 1. Match the following. First, ocean water. Second, snow. Third, steam. Fourth, rainwater. Match these with following options. A. Solid form of water. B. Vapor form of water. C. Not fit for drinking. D. Fresh water. Question number 2. Why do you think most of the water on Earth cannot be used for drinking or farming? Question number 3. Large number of living beings live near water bodies. Why? Question number 4. What would happen if it did not rain in your region for 2 years? Question number 5. What do you think happens to rainwater in a forest compared to a city? Question number 6. Can you design a house or school that conserves water wisely? What would it include? Question number 7. Let us make a fish by folding a piece of paper. At the bottom of the page, there are steps that show how to fold the page and finally make a fish out of it. End of the chapter 1.
Our Wondrous World. You were just listening to this audiobook, Textbook of Environmental Studies for Grade 5. Narration Chinky Goswami. Sound recordist Muhammad Faizan Khan. Assistance in production Soumya Malik. Directed and produced by Vimlesh Chaudhary. This audiobook is brought to you by CIET NCERT, New Delhi, India.